Hello and welcome to my video on why I think Yukio's behaviour, attitude and thoughts on Rin throughout the entirety of the Blue Exorcist manga after Father Shiro Fujimoto's death is justified. Kind of. Part 5. So like discussed in the first video, which consisted of me talking about mostly the Kyoto arc, as I said how much, in my own opinion, that this was the turning point in the manga, and anime as well if you want to go down there, and then touching on a little of the Illuminati arc, because really, that arc was there to show us Lucifer, have Izumo get rescued when kidnapped, and to kickstart Yukio's hunger more for knowledge about his eyes and family. Oh, and something I'm waiting to get animated in season 3, here's hoping. And then discussed in the second video, where I basically talked about what happened in the Elmuri arc, and why that was important, ranging from Yukio putting himself in dangerous situations, to nearly getting a contract with a demon for immortality basically, and shippers having a hard time. And then discussed about in the third and fourth video a little bit on the Blue Knight investigation, with setting up things from secrets that the Exorcist organisation kept secret about, and a little on Yukio showing his curiosity growing steadily. For this fifth video, I hope to get some more of the Blue Knight investigation arc discussed, and hopefully finished. Again, spoiler warning, as like stated in the previous videos before this one will have spoilers, especially ones that have predominantly to do with the manga. So I urge people who don't want those spoilers, or don't want anything spoiled as they're currently reading the manga now, or for future anime content that could be created down the line, then get off this video now. If you're not one of these people, then you're alright for staying and continuing this video. So to give some quick recap background about this arc once again, here we go. This arc is basically talking about the events that happened before Rin and Yukio were born. So yeah, that's what this one is about. Oh, and also about the whole thing on how Satan came into this world a little, and how the Demon Kings did as well as give some history on True Cross and the screwed up nature it used to be, and its tie into the Illuminati basically. As you know, from what we've seen and read so far in the manga now, the Exorcist organisation was what gave birth to the Illuminati, with all the clone testing and such being conducted underground where True Cross is, in a secret forgotten exorcist place, somewhere that we later get told is called Asylum. Yeah, it was just dark, and dark it truly was, and has been. Continuing on from the previous video, we head on over to volume 21, where the beginning starts off with a little bit of Lewin, as we can't get enough of him. Then we jump to seeing a meeting being conducted with the Prime Minister in the True Cross Exorcist branch, and Mephisto making a deal to have a broadcast with Mephisto saying demons are real, and why they're popping up everywhere. Then we cut to Rin and the gang actually discussing what they have to about Yukio. Rin freaks out, becomes angered, and then runs out of the dorm, grabbing his sword. Then we cut to the press conference with the Prime Minister, Mephisto, and now the time for jumping about is over, for now. Now focusing on the conference, we see Mephisto has picked Shura as his bodyguard, with this explanation. Good on you, Mephisto. No, seriously, good on you. At the conference, we see Shima has phoned up Mephisto to warn him about Yukio, to which Mephisto laughs it off really. Boy, Mephisto sure is confident, only to, oh, look who's behind Mephisto everyone. Hey Yukio. Just gonna say, that's quite a menacing looking drawing of Yukio, and it's quite nicely done. Well done, KO. While there, Yukio begins to question Mephisto now, as Yukio knows Mephisto knows all the required information he needs, even asking about his demonic eyes, which Mephisto, again, laughs off and plays it off as the eyes looking lovely and Satan coloured, not really answering Yukio. And even when Yukio, very vocally, asks Mephisto to tell the truth, Mephisto simply straight up refuses and says he has no time for children on journeys of self-discovery. Now notice how the word children is in bold here, set apart from the other words in this wee bit. Why? Well, if you look up the word children, then you get this. A young human being below the age of puberty, or below the legal age of majority. Alright, fair enough. So? However, Yukio in the manga has shown how much more mature and such he really is from what Mephisto called him there. But then again, to someone like Mephisto, who's lived over 1,000 years, doesn't see or think that. Mephisto basically sees Yukio as a kid, a brat essentially, someone not old enough to understand and someone Mephisto feels he doesn't need to give an explanation to, as Mephisto simply doesn't have the time. To me, I think he means patience, or feeling of obligation here, to deal with that, to which Yukio doesn't take kindly to. Mephisto gets shot while laughing, or what looks like laughing. It's Mephisto, guys, so are we really surprised that he'd make a face like this while being shot? Once that is hammed, the place is in a panic, and then the guards find Yukio and arrest him. All the while, Mephisto tells Shura, whom rushed over to check on him, and check if anything was too badly done, that he has to take his time-stopping power barrier, hold off on the makeshift Gehenna portal in Russia, which we found out in volume 16 during a hearing with all the Exorcist branches in the Vatican. During all this, Rin has simply stumbled upon a shop area outside, sees a television reporting on what's happening at the conference the now, with Yukio being arrested, asking where that is, and getting his answer, only to then run towards that place. And I'm just gonna say, I love how in this, normal people don't know Rin is a demon, and when seeing his demonic features, such as his tail, think it's an accessory. It's completely funny. Now we see Yukio is in confinement, with Shura defending him, and Yukio is simply being stubborn here with not answering questions. We then cut to Mephisto resting in bed. Okay. And Shura is now losing the plot at Yukio, yanking Yukio out of his chair, and then they all see his eyes. Okay, going back here, when Shura talked about how Yukio couldn't be the shooter because of the angles, as remember, the bullet entered Mephisto's head from the front, whereas Yukio was standing off to the side of him, making it clearly impossible. But since the shooter wasn't found, and there was no other gunman around, Yukio got blamed. To me, during this bit, I feel as if Yukio has been set up. By who and why, I'm not so very sure. Maybe Mephisto set it up? Again, we don't know. We don't know if that is the truth. But it is something fun to think about and theorize on. So basically while that is happening, we see demons popping up everywhere in the world, making the normal humans aware of their existence. Panic happens. As we see, Rin can sense some things up, like any other demon can and Exorcist can. Rin gets to where he had been heading, finally, when he sees Shura and a glimpse of Yukio. Then we see Rin asking where Yukio is and demanding to see him. Only for Shura to say how Yukio won't be coming back and he should head home, which Rin does, reflecting on pretty much the last real conversation him and Yukio had. And the regret on his face is very telling, as Rin doesn't want that to be their last time speaking, which was essentially fighting. And getting back to the dorm, where everyone else is, Rin relays what Shura said. We even see how Rin's feeling regret just here. As Rin wishes that when Yukio brought up their birth and wanted to know more, that he was more open-minded and willing to listen more to Yukio. Then we see Rin saying how he's gonna go bust Yukio out. Very like you, Rin. Well done. How they'll run away, only for Suguro to step in and stop Rin from acting so impulsively. Then Rin confirms that this is what he wants to do, and then asks where Yukio is being held. Great plan, Rin. You didn't even know where Yukio was. How are you gonna plan on saving him? Now we see Shura trying to talk with Yukio, only to be ignored. Then other exorcists come in and ask Shura to attend a meeting. We see the facility where Yukio is being held gets infiltrated by Rin and the gang, with the help of a Maimon on Mephisto's word. We now see Yukio having a monologue, before being freed from the cell by Rin. How Yukio is done with the order, how Yukio is questioning what they'll do to him, how Yukio won't let that happen, how Yukio won't obey Satan either here, and how Yukio says he'll just wait, which is always how it's been for him. Meaning, Yukio's patient and willing to wait it out until something or someone helps. Meaning, Yukio knows Rin will show up. It's just basically a matter of time. Once escaped, Rin and Yukio are making their way somewhere, when Yukio stops and then Rin does too, questioning Yukio on why he stopped. Only for Yukio to confirm how the appearance of a rescue from Rin was to be expected, then asks why Rin did. I think the reason Yukio is asking this to Rin is because Yukio knows that they're different on opinions about saving people. Not to mention it adds to Yukio's feeling of being weak. We then see a helicopter fly overhead where Rin and Yukio are, as it's the Illuminati coming for Yukio, and just this expression here to me tells me a lot about what Yukio is thinking about here. He's both relieved for an actual escape from here, as well as having a look of confusion and relief on him here. Maybe both, as the Illuminati kept their word to him about welcoming him when Yukio needed it. As remember, Yukio's been mostly lied to or kept in the dark about things here. Even Shima, who basically showed up out of nowhere, is emphasizing here how the Illuminati welcomes Yukio, and how Yukio can't stay here. Rin here tries to defend Yukio by saying how Yukio would never join the Illuminati. Yeah, you really know your brother, Rin. But it's during this point where Yukio is remembering the most important thing Lucifer said, which is what he's desperately after, and what hooks Yukio in, as Yukio then makes his way towards Shima, and also the helicopter. So Rin, you lied. Yukio would join the Illuminati. Rin questions Yukio here, only for Yukio to stop and tell Rin everything he has learned so far about the Exorcist organization, Mephisto, and their adoptive father, as this is their parting words to each other basically. It's awkward. Rin of course doesn't believe this and questions it, only for Yukio to echo back what Todo said to him back at Kyoto, saying how it was different for Rin, and that Rin was treated special, whereas Yukio was seen as an eyesore basically. Rin of course doesn't believe this, tries to reason with Yukio, to which Yukio doesn't listen to and tries to leave. Which then Rin tries to stop Yukio, only for Yukio to stop Rin with a gun pointed at him, as Yukio says how he wants to be strong, and then shoots Rin. But before the gun is pulled, we see some very interesting words Rin has that is being said through thought about Yukio. And this is basically emphasizing how inferior Yukio is about losing, which would mean being helped out or anything. And Yukio also confirms that here. When Yukio is happy with Rin being down, only then does Yukio begin to make his way towards Shima in the helicopter once again, only for Rin to try and stop Yukio. I feel so sad because he's crying at this part now. Failing doing so here, as Rin's sword breaks, then we see Satan making another appearance, through the use of Yukio's left eye. Yay! So basically we have some talking between Rin and Yukio clearing up how Satan is speaking through Yukio's left eye, how Yukio is leaving, then gets stopped by Shiemi, only for a Maiman to kick Shiemi, nice, and then gets scolded by the others. That's not really gonna sort him out, but you do you guys. Yukio basically tells the others to quit it. He then covers up his left eye and tells Shima to take him with him to the Illuminati, which Shima agrees to as Yukio and Shima say their final things to everyone and then leave. Great. We then see Yukio and Shima having a moment, kind of. Rin's true demonic nature awakens, he goes a bit loopy and tries to hurt his friends, again. And all while this is happening inside Rin's mind, he battles with his demonic half for control. Wins, passes out, wakes up in Mephisto's place dressed in a yukata, I think, then walks around the place and sees Mephisto. And then he has a job to go back in time to, basically find out about his past. So we'll discuss that maybe in the future. Yukio, however, is still in the helicopter with Shima before arriving at the Illuminati. Then Yukio gets a welcome introduction by Lucifer's bodyguard, and then gets shown the way to Lucifer, which was quick. Once inside, Yukio and Lucifer talk, starting with Yukio asking Lucifer why he was needed. Then Yukio goes on to say his real reason for being there, which is knowledge about his eyes and birth and power once again, as Yukio states how he's abandoned everything to get that. Now, I'm afraid we're gonna have to leave it here now, as this video is once again gonna get lengthy. And for the next video, I shall explain specifically what Yukio's motives are here, and why. So far, I've talked about the evidence that has been seen in the manga, and analysed on some parts. Now it's time to specifically state Yukio's motives now. So again, if you found what I talked about to be of interest, then please like and subscribe and comment if you guys would like to. And like always, thank you guys and see you next video. Peace. Can I just say how these parts here have nothing in them with a black and dark background, contrast to this, which happened when Mephisto took his hold off of the barrier he had up. It's genius. As everything at this point, after what happened at the conference in this volume, and Mephisto releasing his hold on the fake Gehenna Gate at Russia, is meant to be in chaos as these wee panel things is meant to be in chaos. In my opinion, these panel things served as a way to have a funny segment in them that's reflecting what is currently happening in each volume. But since things are in chaos and dark, these panels are reflecting that. So it's awesome! Just wanted to point that out, that's all.